Hi guys, and welcome back to another beautiful, lovely, hot and muggy day here at AJ's Car Garage. So, it's been raining all morning, sun's come out, made it nice and muggy and hot, but apparently we've got a lot of rain coming over the next few days, up to about a meter's worth, due to this cyclone up north, up in Cairns and whatnot. Well, not quite that far up, but yeah, anyway, it's Australia Day if you know what's going on with the weather up north from Gympie and all that. Yeah, so today, hopefully I'm about 95% positive that we're going to get this thing started. Yeah, I've got a couple of little things to do. I did make my mind up. I'm going to swap out my coolant tank there to an OG original one just for the time being, so I can sort out where the main port comes out of the bottom of the tank there. Just not quite happy with that. I'm going to do something with that to prevent a little bit of heat getting to it, being plastic and whatnot. But yeah, I've had a look online to see what sort of tanks there actually are specific to the AU, and let's just say at least I don't like the boxy design to them. They're pretty ugly. Well made, but ugly from my point of view. So yeah, I'm gonna swap that out today, back to that. And yeah, I've got a couple of filters I'm gonna put on here. Brand new filter for the turbo, brand new filter for the oil catch can, and yeah, top this thing up with some coolant, connect the battery up, get in there on the computer and check a couple of things, and yeah, kick this thing over and hopefully it doesn't go clatter bang boom. Anyway, let's get to it. Alright, so here's my OG plastic one, not original out of this, but original for what they did have. Anyway, I've already gone and given it somewhat of a clean out. I'm not going to keep that cap on it. I actually painted that cap up for an XH I was doing up quite a few years ago. Anyway, yeah, it is still rather dirty, but it is a hell of a lot cleaner than what it was before I cleaned it up. I've done everything to it except put some sort of abrasive substance in there, you know, like rice or rock salt or something like that, to help try and actually get rid of the majority of the build-up that's in there. But yeah, I've let that soak for, you know, a couple of hours. I've shaken it about all over the joint, and yeah, what I actually used was so I started off with the degreaser just to give it a soak for a little bit and try and loosen up some of the muck in there, and then rinsed it out a little bit. Used bleach, washing detergent, and yeah, shook it around, left it in there soaking, gave it about 3 treatments worth of that over about 3 hours. So yeah, like I said, the only thing I didn't do was put rice or something in there as an abrasive to help get it out. And the reason for that is, now let's get this open. Now the reason why I didn't put any abrasive stuff in there is because every single one of these bubbles, so to speak, is its own area. Now if you see down in the neck here, this little hole, that's the only thing that lets water travel between each segment, and I'm assuming that's to do with trying to stop sloshing, the fluids backwards and forwards. But yeah, I don't know why they went with so many little segments. I mean, I've seen tanks with one or none that don't have any issues or whatever. But yeah, anyway, I've cleaned that out the best I can. I'm going to do a little something with it for heat prevention, and then I'll slap it back in there and fill it up with some coolant. Okay, so it's not the best job in the world, and I wasn't trying to make it to be the best job in the world. I just wanted to put a bit of heat protection on there to keep a bit of the heat from the turbo and everything away. Just gonna sit it in there and see what it looks like. Gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting there somehow, but that's it. Yeah, see, obviously I'll have to unclamp that and turn that back 180 so it fits on there properly. Squeeze it in through there. Yeah, space wise, that's why I went to the other one, seeing how much space there isn't there now. I'm completely thinking reverting. I don't know, we'll see what it says in about 10-15 minutes or so, eh? Okay, so that's that done and sorted. Put a bit of heat protection around the radiator pipe as well. I may have to move this silicon pipe fitting. It's rubbing on the pipe, which I'm not exactly happy about, which is also why I sort of wrapped it as well, maybe to give it a bit of extra protection, which I don't think it'll get from that. But anyway, yeah, I'll move that clamp. But yeah, she's pretty much ready to get some coolant put in. Biggest difference obviously is where the main radiator pipe comes from. This one being situated on the bottom, I did have to move my ABS pipe out a little bit more. I was contemplating bending it back underneath, but I didn't really want to put too much more stress on that from re-bending it opposite ways and stuff. But anyway, that's on there now. Hopefully she'll stay on there nice and happy. The heat protection itself, the gold wrap, the stuff on there is actually this brand stuff, the heat protection products. It's more like a cushiony sort of tape, where the stuff I've got like that and the last little bit down here and what I've got on the firewall and stuff from Raceworks is actually like a proper tape. If you know what cardboard looks like with the honeycomb weaving or whatever it is through it, sort of looks like that. I've got a bit here. Yeah, so yeah, like that. That's the heat protection products, and that's the Raceworks, which is more like a tape. So anyway, that's that. I'm gonna go have a bit of a break and come back in about 15 minutes or so. We're getting there, people. Alright, so I went down to Autobarn. I got myself a new pod filter and a new air breather for my catch can. So we'll go ahead and install them on there now. Okay, so there's new air filter, new breather filter, so you should be set in that department. If you want, I mean, you can go down to your local Autobarn and pick these up off the shelves, but if you want part numbers, there's a little part number for the air filter, there's a little part number for the breather filter. Now also the one I got is an 18mm. The neck, like the fitting on the catch can was a 15mm. SAS don't make them in a 15mm. There's your sizes there across the bottom that you got to choose from. I went 18 because I thought it might have been a better suit, not having to expand. But just squash it around the neck. But turns out I should have went with the 12mm, because yeah, I've had to over tighten that quite a little bit to be able to get it to sit on there properly. But anyway, needless to say, it's on there good enough for the time being, so we'll leave it there. I'll go get another one at a later date. However, I do need to go and get another radiator cap. Why? Because I sat this in there. Yeah, it hasn't been used for a while. Sat it in there, and this rubber bit got stuck in the top of the neck just a bit like that. It didn't want to come out properly, and whoop, she's ripped the seal. So I think I got one over there. I don't know. I will go have a look and see what I can't find, if I can find, because yeah, that's no good without a radiator cap. And the cap on this don't fit on there properly. So just by looking at that, I need to put that under there, and so we got an overflow point that's not going to leak straight onto the top of the radiator tank. Anyway, let's keep going, eh? Okay, so I just got back from town with a new radiator cap, some fresh fuel sitting over there in the jerry can, boom boom, and we'll get in the boat and hook the battery up. So let's get to it. That's a coolant in there. That's roughly max level. Max level indicators are actually over here, they're covered, but max level is roughly somewhere there. It's just a tad over full. It's about 5mm from that seal. So yeah, tad over full, but that's all good. She's all sweet. It's got more coolant in there than it is required anyway. These systems roughly hold 10 litres. This has got roughly, how much did I just put in there? I had 3 litres. It's got roughly 11, and that's because there's extra thickness of the core of the radiator. So she's sweet. We'll go ahead and put the cap on there, but first we'll check out the new one, and yeah, we'll get some fuel in it, hook the battery up, and boom. Okay, so there's the new one, Trident radiator cap. There's the old one. I'm pretty sure this is an original OG, you know, bought with the car, that I've just, yeah, made to look tidy at some point in time. And yeah, I'll just pull him out of here real quick if I can, one-handed. Oh, there she goes. She's open. So as you can see, that the actual rubber is smaller here, but everything else is the same. So we'll go and put that on there real quick. Wait, actually, we'll put it on, but we do need to let the system breathe once the car's turned on and whatnot, to get all air bubbles, if any, out of it. Oh wow, this is really tight. Really tight. Okay, so that was a struggle and a bit. Never had a radiator cap fight me like that before. That was tight as. See if I can show you what's going on. So I need to use quite a bit of pressure to get that to go back to normal, like to the spot where it comes off like that, and then gotta use a bit of pressure to get it on there too. That's supposed to be the right one there, I reckon. Oh, whatever. Anyway, the new radiator cap turns out to be faulty. I'll just go get a new one. $12 from Autobahn anyway. Trident. That's that done.
Three hours later.
Okay, so now we're in the boot. I'm gonna hook the positive up to the battery. I've had battery on charge. Hopefully, since it's been sitting around here for 12 months or so since I've been doing this build. Trying to get this build done, should I say, drawn out as it has been. Hopefully it hasn't dropped a cell. I mean, the tray that it's sitting on is rubber. Well, not it, rubber coated metal to be properly correct. But anyway, as you can see, my battery terminals, the way they're set up, all I gotta do is get in there and take that wing nut off and put the positive, which is there, under the terminal. Now, also my negative, which is here, is bolted up here. So yeah, now I say hopefully it hasn't dropped a cell, because as you can see, the indicator light on there is green. It always has been green since the day I put it in here. That's why I say I hope it hasn't dropped a cell. Yes, I have a false floor in here. Anyway, yeah, let's get that hooked up. Okay, so I know there's power getting to the vehicle. Look down the side here and my hazards were going off. Not to mention me lock actuator. So I can't close my passenger door without it locking the rest of the car at this point in time. Something to do with the door actuator, it's not quite funky. So yeah, I need to make sure my keys are not in the ignition at any point in time that we're not in the car or messing with the car. So yeah, anyway, we've got coolant in the tank, fresh fuel with the shock treatment in the tank, fresh with 98 for the tune that it's going to be running. Battery's hooked up. Now I guess it's time for the all important bits, and well, the very most sort of important bits inside, scanning, making sure everything was going to be all sweet, and just adjusting one or two things in the tune. I'm not tune savvy, so I can't do too much with it, but I can adjust, I guess you can say, the base fuel mapping for it, so I can get close to the right fuel air ratio that's needed as best as possible, you know, injector wise and all that sort of stuff. The computer tune will map it out accordingly to the pressure that I put in there, and yeah, so I will have to go get this thing dyno tuned in the long run. It is only a base map tune for me to kick the car over and be able to get around, so to speak, without balls to the wall, hang on to your hats, seat of your pants type stuff straight off the bat. Now from what I can gather, you know, people talking about these online and whatnot, I'm talking J3 chips in particular, being the tune that I'm running for my car. I don't have Haltac or anything. Yeah, big money for them things. So yeah, J3 chip, you get supplied with the base map to get you started and get you from A to B. You have to go and get your car dyno tuned at a specific J3 tuner to get your car's tune mapped properly so it can be run properly how you want it. And that's where I think a lot of people think they're crap or not worth it, or you know, hit and miss or whatever, because they don't go and get them tuned properly after the fact, or in which case comes to experience messing with electrical components, or yeah, well, ECU electrical components, you do have to get in there and do a little bit of mess around depending on what series Falcon you are running, whether it be EB, EL, EF, AU, AU1, 2 or 3, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But yeah, anyway, let's keep going and get on this nitty gritty stuff, eh? Alright, so it's the next day. All I had time to do yesterday was put the coolant in, the fuel, hook the battery up, and yeah, so next day, walked over here this morning, seen this bit of fluid here. So I had a couple of little coolant leaks, one of which comes from here. I had one come from my fitting on the return for the water from the turbo to the water pump. Tightened both them up. I think it might have been leaking a little bit from the fittings on the turbo as well for the water. Nipped them up a little bit. And yeah, I think there's one of the fittings on my water pipe down here was not quite tight enough as well, so I got in there and tightened him up, and hopefully we're all good. But in saying that, from the level it was yesterday, not much has changed, so that's good. So anyway, I'm gonna get in there and get on my scanning tool. Okay, so this is my scan tool, ICarPro, Vgate, Bluetooth app for, oh sorry, ICarPro, not CarPro, OBD2 diagnostic interface. Bought from TI Performance, can be used with quite a few different applications. Now, for those of you that don't know, Ford, Mazda, and 2 or 3 others, but you know, being Australia, Ford and Mazda most common here. They use their own scanning applications, which is ForeScan, and these are compatible with that. You have to get the ForeScan app off the internet, download on your phone, and yeah, away you go. Set up your Bluetooth scanner here with the instructions that come with it, and yeah, off you go. Anyway, we'll plug him in. It's getting signal there, power red, so the blue is a connection and green is Bluetooth. So yeah, power, reading and Bluetooth. So anyway, I'm gonna have to turn my camera off now and go into screen recording. I'll turn my Bluetooth on and ForeScan light. Now, up in the right corner, connect. Enter the code. Alright, so when you first connect up to your car, it'll come up with a list of vehicles that it will read and assume that it is. being XR6, XR8, Fairlane, Fairmont, LTD, blah blah blah. For Mazdas it'll come up with Mazdas, whatever. Anyway, so you can do a lot of things through this. Just go vehicle information, just so you know that it is reading Ford Fairlane and this, that and the other. It'll give you all sorts of information about your ECU and all that as well. So we can go into diagnostic errors. I had a bit of a mess around with this yesterday. For some reason it's loaded all my stuff from yesterday as well. So anyway, we'll reset this. Yes, ignition off, on, okay, and there you go. So I'm not concerned about the AC refrigerant temp, AC pressure sensor, or the evap kind of stuff. That's all been deleted, so that is all sweet. We can go out of here. We can run some tests real quick. Let's go output test mode on. Command outputs. So what you're hearing there now is a fuel pump, if you can hear it. Stop that. Low speed fan. There you go. High speed fan. There you go. And that's done. So we can go. Oh, hang on, what was that? Oh, malfunction detected. Okay, tests. On demand self test. No errors found. Okay, let's go this one. Key on, engine off, on demand self test. Okay. Canister purge, AC pressure, ACU temp. PCM memory failure. I'll have to source that out. Hopefully it's not a big issue. Hopefully it's just because the battery's been disconnected for quite a long time, which generally resets everything to do with memory in the ECU and all that. So we'll see. Just gonna take a quick screenshot. So I took a quick screenshot of that. Sorry, I locked my phone, stopped recording. Anyway, just a quick run through of this. You can basically have any anything that you want to keep an eye on while, well, hang on, I might want to connect. So we're connected. Let's go table, settings, all, add. So there's a lot of different things you can have displayed that you want to keep an eye on, or suss out what's going on with it and all that. So yeah, I haven't exactly got anything set up. I haven't used it in the car as of yet, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I haven't spent the time going through it all and everything, so I don't know. I just use it for the basic tests and errors. I'm yet to do a key on, engine on test, because it hasn't been running. Anyway, we'll jump off here and have a suss of that code and see what it says. Okay, so we're inside the car, got the laptop up and running. I'm gonna jump down here and grab my J3 chip. out of the ECU. So I'll go around and do that now. So these things are relatively simple to work with once you actually deal with the ECU itself. But anyway, just going to carefully slide this out. Now that cable that's on there is a tune selector that I've got run up into somewhere. Not gonna tell you where, not yet anyway. Anyway, so to be able to read this chip, you need a reader, and I got this supplied by, when I mean supplied, I bought it from TI Performance. They didn't give it to me or anything. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Everything you see I've paid for myself. But anyway, that's how that plugs in. Pretty simple. And we'll go back to the laptop. Okay, so now I'm gonna go up here, open me programmer, Tuner Pro RT. AU2 Tune 1. Okay, injector slope. I don't know much about fuel base table or any of that, but my injector slope, I can mess with that and basically get it to a nice area where it's gonna run not too rich, not too lean, and yeah, go from there. Only because I've changed the injectors around and whatnot, but otherwise I'd need to go into stuff down here like fuel base table, stabler, fuel, spark table, blah 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 blah, volumetric efficiency table. That's what you would normally use to tune with efficiently. And yeah, fuel base table and all that sort of jazz. Like I said, I'm not exactly tune savvy, so I'm not gonna mess with too much. So generally when you mess with the tune slope anyway, it will sort of adjust everything accordingly for the tune to make things run within its parameters. So yeah, anyway, just gonna have a quick squizzy and see what my injectors are supposed to be running at and whatnot, do a bit of maths and see what we can't come up with. Okay, I've had a bit of a suss and I think I'm gonna start at about £40 an hour and see what it says from there. So now that we've done that, we will go up here and upload the current bin to emulator. Emulator is the chip and the bin is all the files and everything. So we will we'll upload it now. It's uploading. Blue bar down the bottom here. Upload successful. So now I'll go around and put the chip back, and it's as simple as unplugging your reader from the chip and carefully placing the chip back in the ECU. And try not to damage little points on the back. You do usually have it covered up. It's seen as, you know, in and out all the time. I've left it undone. cup just to make sure no crap gets in there. That should be good to go. Okay, so also what we can do on the laptop, there goes my door actuators. So if we go into this one, and there, our throttle position sensor's going nuts. Let's tap the throttle position. Anyway, so we can also, once the car's on, it'll read RPM, it reads throttle position, map pressure, and air fuel ratio. So prime air fuel ratio, which is I believe stoic ratio, well, the term stoic anyway, I think it's 14.1. So yeah, there go my doors again. Anyway, gremlins in here doing something. So yeah, we can keep an eye on that and give this a kick over in a minute. I'm so freaking unbelievably nervous right now. Admittedly, I've done a couple of engine rebuilds, but never by myself. And I don't want anything major going wrong. See, probably, given the first time yet, but just about every time you build an engine, you would almost have this feeling. Hopefully nothing's gonna go bang, anxiety, all that sort of shit. But anyway, let's get to it and see what happens, eh? Got everything set up. Hopefully it's all good. Fingers crossed you don't go boom and clank and just doesn't do anything. Anyway, let me wideband heat up a second and then give her a kick and see what happens. Nothing's happening. What's going on? Maybe not enough power in the battery. Hopefully she hasn't dropped a cell. smoke's just the exhaust wrap burning off. Just lost a shit ton of fucking oil. Fuck me. So the oil's just come from the T-piece, squirting out the side. Oh, hang on, somewhere here. Don't think I've done it up enough, tight enough. Just lost God knows how many litres of oil on the floor. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully not enough to damage anything. Oh, we'll give it another crack. Turns out I didn't even do that fitting up, so that's all on me. 2 litres worth of oil on the ground, down the drain. Anyway, give it another shot and see what happens. What? Yeah, it's mostly just the heat wrap into the thing. They didn't do that, but it's got no back. Okay, so it is idling a little high. Should be sitting down a bit closer towards 500. But that's probably because I haven't got all my intercooler piping on there either. Yeah, power steering taking effect. But yeah, she's running alright. We'll run it till the first heat cycle. Me air ratio's not too bad. So yeah, we'll let it do its thing, let it heat up a bit and go from there. Alright, so she lives. I'm pretty damn happy, pretty ecstatic actually. It's been a long time coming. Like I said earlier, first time I've done something to this extent by myself. And yeah, she's come through. So in the midst of, you know, doing this and that, forgot to get in there and get that out. Burnt myself. Forgot to get in there and get that T-piece connected up properly. I've recently discovered that I think my AN fitting needs to be replaced, and I think the same on this end for my water return from the turbo. But all seems to be going pretty good. You can see it's not smoking anymore. That was just the heat wrap and all the paint doing its thing. So yeah, it's just about done with the first heat cycle. Sitting up there nicely. Oh, that's the oil pressure. Sitting there nice. Battery's charging good. She's sitting little, I don't know what's going on there. It shouldn't be sitting that high. It's not even touching the stop screw on the butterfly. So yeah, I don't know why it's sitting that high. It's hunting for something that I don't know shouldn't be there. Anyway, nothing coming up there. It's telling me I need water, but I haven't got the water level thing in the coolant tank for that. And yeah, there's the coolant temp there. She's sitting pretty good, pretty sweet. And yeah, there's everything up there. No, like I said, I still need to go get this tuned properly and whatnot on a dyno, but for now she's pretty sweet. I think we'll let it run for another 10 minutes or so and turn it off, and I don't know if I'll be able to get under there today and swap out the running oil and the filter to proper oil and a proper filter this afternoon, but I've got the next few days off of work as well anyway, so tomorrow might be the day for that. And then yeah, God knows, might see what it says under its own steam, moving it maybe backwards out of here and giving it a wash down and whatever, or maybe take it for a little squirt up me dirt road here. I'm not going to do too much, obviously. I don't want to wreck it and whatnot. I don't want to put any undue stress on it that it doesn't need at this point in time. But yeah, big smiles in this fella's so freaking happy right now. Couldn't be happier. Also, in the time I've been waiting, you know, since I started it, letting it do its warm up, run and whatnot, also got down here and put the last bit of my intercooler piping on. Looking pretty schmicky. What do you reckon? I fucking love it, eh? She's not hit. Well, yeah, the fans haven't come on yet. I mean, well, low speed fans have been on, high speed fans have not come on. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and turn it off now. It's been running for, I don't know, shit, probably the best parts of 45 minutes. So it's definitely had its heat cycle. It's not, yeah, it usually sits somewhere about there, and yeah, so definitely a big win in my books for the day. So happy about it, so glad. One major little fuck up, how you work that, I don't know, but whatever. Oil supply off the T-piece from the oil pressure sender unit inside the block I completely forgot to do up. I don't know why, but whatever. It is what it is. It happened. Lost a couple of litres out. Replaced that. She's running. All good. Oh, excuse me. Time's getting on in the day. Stress and anxiety. No, I'm not stressed. Nerves, anxiety, getting to me. Made me tired. Anyway, I don't know what's going on there. I just noticed my boost gauge bouncing up and down a little bit. But that's probably because it's hunting too. But anyway, we'll turn that off. Leave it here for the day. And catch yous tomorrow. future AJ here. We're gonna have to cut this video where it is. At this point, I want to take a couple of minutes and make a couple of shout outs that I haven't done so yet. First and foremost being my local workshop, being Spency's Auto Repairs and Engine Reconditioning. Yeah, they've done a good job helping me out with my AN fittings and my sump repairs, doing all the alloy welding for me. If you're local to Gympie and you need someone to do any alloy welding, go down there and hit them up. They'll do a good job for you. Secondly, shout out to TI Performance for supplying and selling all the good bits that I need to be able to run my car the way I do. Shout out to Golby's Parts and Fabrication for selling and supplying all the awesome parts that I needed to be able to get this thing to handle some power. Supplying all the atomic performance parts that I've used. And also a shout out to Atomic Performance for all the great work that they done on my crankshaft, not to mention helping me out getting my crankshaft to them and back to me. So big shout out to them. If you need any AU crankshaft worked on, reconditioned, anything like that, don't hesitate to get in contact with Atomic Performance down in New South Wales. They'll help you out greatly. Also, just want to let you know I am not sponsored at all by any of the people I've just given a shout out to. Just simply giving a shout out for great work and great products that are supplied and sold. So yeah, anyway, gotta leave this one here. Yeah, it was a bit unsure of the car starting. I mean, it was a bit sort of rough, but it sorted itself out and it got there, so all good. Remember to do up your fittings, people. You don't want to have a huge mess like I did with this thing. Couple of litres worth of oil on the ground. Anyway, I hope you found the video informative, enjoyable, entertaining, and yeah, whatever you are doing right now, morning, noon or night, I hope you are enjoying yourselves. And yeah, share to everyone, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future content. So until the next one, keep safe, stay well, peace.